Parents are stealing their kids' identities.
Housing children have their identity stolen or have had their identity stolen from their own parents.
Me, you found a report on your mother.
Yes, I did.
On your mother.
Yes, I did, because I'm not going to take it no more.
Parents are stealing their kids' identities. Shout out to Mayumi's husband for sending over this video that we're going to be reviewing. Why are so many parents stealing the identities of their children, and what are the social implications of this happening? Stay to the end of the video to find out how this is going to affect a greater society and just how many parents are actually stealing the identities of their kids. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the first video.
Story time on how I found out that my mother stole my identity and ruined my credit. Spoiler alert, we are now awaiting trial. So, I lived with my aunt and my uncle from the time I was like 12 or 13 until 18 years old because my mother is horrible. Story time for another time. Anyways, so when I turned 18, it was time to skiddly daddle, get my own phone plan, move out, all that stuff. So, when I did that, I went to the AT&T store to get my phone on my own plan, and they could not verify my identity. It's bizarre, but I didn't feel like sitting there for hours and hours and hours while we tried to figure out what was going on. So we just got my phone put on my roommate's plan, and that was it. Fast forward, I met my husband. It was time for us to get an apartment and get our own phone plan and credit cards and all that. Well, none of those places could verify my identity either. So it was time to start looking into this. So I ran my credit, pulled up the credit report, and my credit score was a 412. 412. And it shouldn't have been anything because I didn't have anything in my name at that time. So I looked on my credit report and saw that there was a loan for over $1,000 taken out of my name over 6 months. This had been over 6 months ago, with zero payments made. The minimum payment was $22 a month and zero had been made, so less than a tank of gas. So I called the bank that the loan was taken out of, and I was like, what is this about? I did not take this loan out. What was this used for? Yada, yada. This loan was used to purchase an Xbox and accessories and all that. Well, my mother has 3 boys, and she's the only person other than myself that would know my social security number and my information like that. She's always known my social. So I texted her and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody took out a loan in my name. I've got to figure this out. I can't get anything put in my name, you know? Like, I didn't say it was her. And she blocked me. So that right there told me everything I needed to know, but I obviously needed hardcore proof. So I was on the phone with this customer service agent from the bank, and I said, if I give you this address and email, can you verify that this is where it was sent to? So I gave them her address, which I have never lived at, and they confirmed that is where this Xbox was sent. So I reached out to her on Facebook or something and was like, I'm going to give you until the end of the year to start making payments on this because I really don't want to have to, press charges. So I gave her, this was August at the time that I reached out to her, and I gave her until December, and she did not. She blocked me. So I reached out to her husband again, was like, hey, I'm going to give you until the end of the year to figure this out. Still no payments were made, and I was blocked by him. So I had to press charges. I went to the police station, filed a police report. She was arrested in Ohio, which is where she lives. She was in that jail for 30 days and then expedited here, Alabama. And then she made bail. She pled not guilty, requested to go to trial. This was 2 years ago. It's been 2 years since this happened, or a little over 2 years. Anyways, so a couple months ago, I get a call from the district attorney saying that my mother has applied for the deferred program, which is basically like probation, and if you finish it, then it gets off of your record. I said, no ma'am. No ma'am. So she was denied, and jury selection is May 13th, and then the trial begins that week as well. So if you guys would like updates on the case, then leave a comment.
Guys, if you can't trust your mother, if you can't trust your parents, you really can't trust anyone. This is a sad reality that young people are living in right now. Young people are faced with so much hardship because their parents are stealing their identities. I want you guys to think about this. The amount of money that was taken was only $1,000. This woman was so bad that she refused to repay the $1,000 that she had stolen from her daughter. She would rather go to jail. She would rather go through all of these things than pay that $1,000. She would rather pay fines than pay back that $1,000. Think about that carefully. Guys, this is this is why we say you're dealing with people who can't understand normal thinking. And in her mind, she's done nothing wrong. She will never think she's done anything wrong because she processes reasoning based on emotions, not on facts. She can use facts, but she processes logic based on emotions. So feelings. So in her feelings have told her that she did nothing wrong. Then of course, she's married to this guy. She has a husband, right? This girl's mother, and the husband knows what's going on. This is a simp. This is why, some guys say that we need a code of conduct. This is a simp. The simp is well aware of what this woman has done. Instead of immediately saying, okay, well, we need to go and get this paid or address it because then law enforcement's going to get involved. Nope. Guys, America is such a messed up place to live. Like, people in America are crazy. Like, I hear people from Europe like, oh my gosh, you guys don't know how good you have it in America. The inflation in America is insane. You cannot survive. The rent in America is insane. You cannot survive. Okay? Aside from men who've walked away from society, who are living off the grid and, choosing to have, living below their means, for the average person, it is hell. It is hell to survive. And your family will rob you for just $1,000. If you think about it very, very carefully, you start to realize just how bad it is. There's some of you who feel like $1,000 isn't a lot of money. For some of you, there are some of you who feel like $1,000 is everything. Oh my gosh, if I could just get my hands on $1,000. This is why I keep on warning many of you also that you need to start working on your skills. I've got my YouTuber course coming out for you guys that's going to teach you how to build a business and a brand on YouTube. We're going into the creator economy right now. Those luxurious 9-to-5 jobs are going to be a thing of the past. All right? The gig economy is oversaturated. I keep warning you guys, okay? Do not wait for everything to crash. And then you're suddenly like, okay, I need to jump on Skillshare. Oh my gosh, I need to take this course, but I don't have money to take this course. Hey, Angry, do you think you can help me out? Your channel is not supposed to be about making money. Your channel is supposed to be about helping men. Could you teach me how to do these things? All right. It's about helping one another. All right. If you care about men, what? This is my business. Guys, there's not a single one of you who cannot say that I don't run my YouTube channel like a business. Y'all see how many videos I put out. I don't sleep. Okay, that's not true. I sleep barely. I sleep and then I wake up and I work. I work and that's how it is for a lot of people. You cannot say that I don't run my YouTube channel like a business. You cannot say I do not grind. You cannot say that you do not always have your videos waiting for you. You guys have seen when I am sick. I'm still here grinding for you. I'm still streaming. I'm still putting out content for you guys. When I'm sick, you can hear it in my voice. And I am sick. I'm running a high fever and I'm working. You have to be dedicated. You need to start getting your stuff together because hell on earth is coming. Hell on earth. There's a lot of you who say you don't care. But when you cannot buy food, when you lose your jobs, when you're facing homelessness, what are you going to do? Become like Gen Zers and start squatting, stealing and squatting? Because that's where Gen Z is headed. All right, they're a future generation of thieves and squatters. That's all they're going to be doing. And you're going to be a 40-year-old man, 30-year-old man, 40-year-old man, 50-year-old man stealing and squatting. Come on, big fella. You don't have that kind of energy. You don't have that kind of energy in you anymore. You're tired, big fella. You can't be running, can't be out here running in the streets stealing. Come on, stealing from Target. That's for those young boys. That's for those young Gen. That's for those young, for those Gen Zers. You can't be out here in these streets, bro. Stealing and squatting. Come on. All right. All right. You're not that guy. You're not that guy. I'm not saying that you don't have that type of, mindset in you, but you're old. You're older now, man. You can't be out here doing that, running from the cops, and they're gonna catch you anyway. When they catch you, you know what's gonna happen. All right. You can't catch hands like that right now at your age, man. Come on. Let's be honest, okay? All right, sleeping in prison, like sleeping in the jail, county jail. Man, at your age, you really want to go through that? You really want to go through that? Cockroaches, rats, no money in your commissary. You really want to go through that? You need to get your life together, big fella. You need to get your life together, big fella. All right? It's not one, get right with Jesus, because I'm telling y'all, he is the number one. The only reason why I'm able to do what I do is because of him. Get right with Jesus, not right with the church. Not stay. I always say the church leads to the streets, and the streets lead to the church. So stay out of the church and stay off the streets. That's not what it means to get right with Jesus, okay? Because a church is defined by Jesus Christ as a gathering of believers in Jesus. That's it. It's not a building. It's not an organization. It's not a religion. Okay? Where two or three are gathered, let there be God. Your relationship with God must be an intimate one. And I talk about this constantly because you're going to need God when you want to build your business. You're going to need God when you want to grind. You're going to need God through this period of time when you are completely alone and you're entering into the creator economy. You're going to need God. It's just you and God. First, that's why like there was a video of Snoop Dogg. He was getting like a star on the Walk of Fame, and I think he did thank God. I think so. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And then he thanked himself. Thank you for he said, and I want to thank me for always being there for me. I want to thank me for putting in all the hard work. I want to thank me for never giving up. I want to thank me for believing in me. Okay, it's literally just me and God. So you guys have to get that in order. And then from there, you have to treat this like a business. You have to be out here and grind, work hard. Do not stop grinding. It's not a game. Okay? Treat it like a business. Treat it like a real job. Y'all see how I work. This is my job. Okay? I don't tell y'all how much money I make. Some of y'all, I don't tell you how much money I make. Y'all, I make money. I make bread. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? But I work hard, and I'm stingy as hell now too. These days I'm becoming stingy like the boomers. I'm just being so honest. They were so stingy with us. Now I'm going to be stingy with them in society. I'm stingy as hell. I'll spend my money on myself, and I'm not spending it on anyone else. That's the reason why you have these pastors. I'm not going to play the clip again. These pastors that are like, you need to be out here giving. It's about giving more than you receive. No, it's about prioritizing myself. Okay? And giving to God. There's no such thing as giving to God. God is the one who gives everything to us. Giving to God is basically just loving God and honoring God and your commitment to God by speaking to God and keeping him in your heart. Giving to God is not giving handouts to people in your community. That's not giving to God. Giving to God is not giving tithe money. That's not giving to God. That's giving to a greedy organization that is using a system of taxation to enrich themselves while living off people who are, afraid that they're going to be punished or experience hardships if they don't hand over their hard-earned money. That's blackmail. That is blackmail. That's what that is. You have to wake up and realize that hard times are here. And if you're not aware of it, if you don't prepare for it, it's gonna be hell out there for most of y'all. It's gonna be hell out there. And we're men, so no one's coming to rescue us. No one at all.
Asshole if I send my parents to jail for stealing my identity. Sounds like it's gonna be hard for you to end up being an a-hole, and this time it might be time to send your parents to time out. I'm a 29-year-old female, and my parents have always been in financial trouble, something that I have never been able to understand because they both have a very generous salary, more than 3 times my own. Because of these financial troubles, my aunts, uncles, and grandma have had to, over the years, lend them money. We were evicted a couple of times that I know. We have had our water shut off, electricity shut off, and the internet cut off. Many things like that have happened over the years, and I admit that that has affected my emotional and mental health. All of this has made my relationship with my parents very difficult over the years, I bet. And it only got worse when they would take advantage of me, making me pay for many things with the money that I earned working during holidays to pay for college, or making me call my grandma to ask her for money, all while my mom would spend the money whenever she could to buy purses or jewelry. The moment I became an adult, they started to sign bills under my name without my permission, mostly because their credit was so bad that the companies wouldn't allow them to sign with their own names. When I figured it out, I asked them to stop, but they just lied about it and I just let it go because I couldn't deal with it. Fast forward to the present, because of the Rona situation, I was looking forward to the money from my income tax return because my salary is going down, so this money would have helped a lot. Instead of that, though, I received a letter from a courthouse saying that the money has been confiscated. I immediately phoned my mom, and she said that she didn't know anything about it and she will fix it. If you don't know nothing about it, how you gonna fix it? All right. Since I don't trust her at all, smart, I called the court myself, and then they explained to me that during the last year there has been a process against me by a company. I owe money from unpaid bills. All the papers had been sent to my parents and they signed and took them. The debt was not paid with the money from the tax income, so part of my salary from now on will also be confiscated too until it is fully paid. Jesus, not only they are determined to ruin your future.
I mean, guys, that's crazy. That's crazy. My gosh. That's why you really can't trust anyone. If you can't trust your parents, sometimes you can't even feel like you can't even trust yourself. How are you going to trust others? I'm telling y'all, it's all about that walk with Jesus. It's all about that walk with Christ, guys. What's the future going to look like? We're looking at a very divided future. You know, what are the results of parents stealing their kids' identities? More kids ending up in destitution, more kids ending up in situations where they can't even trust their parents, a more divided society, and increased poverty. Those are just some of the things that we will be seeing as a result of the actions of these parents. And of course, you're going to have a lot of young people that are going to end up having poor relationships with their own children if they ever have them because of what's happened in their own lives. This is just from bad to worse. And this is happening to so many different young people, and it's right across the board. It's not something that is just happening in, let's say, the Black community or the white community. It's happening in all communities right now. These parents are stealing from their kids before their kids are even old enough to know what's happening. And then they act like it's only normal because we're family, we're familia, like, like Pancho and Sancho or Mario and Luigi. Total absolute BS, y'all. Total absolute BS. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider subscribing to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. Click the link in the description to get your free copy. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Parents are stealing their kids' identities. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.